come to our release from stress, or release some stress, at least maybe, practice for you today. One assumes therefore that you must be a little stressed to have found your way here, so I hope this is of benefit. So we're going to start lying actually on our backs. So just coming down to lie on your backs. If you need to have your knees bent and your feet flat to the mat, then doing so. And by all means bring your hands to rest on your tummy if that's more comfortable for you. Otherwise we might rest the hands beside the body and stretch the legs ahead of us, and then just close down the eyes. And then let's all take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just becoming aware of the body, becoming aware of your body resting on the floor, and just allowing the weight of the body to soften onto the floor. So the body softening onto the floor holding the weight of the body, the earth then. So this sense of being held, grounding. And then become aware of the breath, and just beginning to deepen the breath. So breathing in and out through your nose if you can. And just beginning to deepen the breath, finding space throughout the body on the inhalation and a full release on the exhalation. So seeing if you can find some space between your ribs on the inhalation. And then the full release of breath from body on the exhalation. Just a few more conscious rounds of breath, really aware of the breath entering the body, the breath leaving the body, the breath filling the body then, so bringing in more life force prana on the inhalation. And the full release, the letting go, the dropping down on the exhalation. So just allowing the weight of the body to become a little heavier almost on the exhalation. And yet perhaps also a little lighter on your inhalation. So really try and focus awareness on the breath. I know sometimes you've got loads going on in your mind. If you had a really hectic day in the office, it's really difficult to then try and focus in on anything actually, but really trying to focus on the breath, feeling the movement of the breath in the body, feeling the weight of the body on the earth. And then we'll start linking breath with movement, and if anything doesn't feel right for you during the practice, just stopping at any point. But otherwise, let's just take an inhalation. Let's draw the right knee into the chest, just pressing down and out through your left leg. Just energizing it into the feet, so just awakening awareness in the body. And then on your exhalation, releasing the right leg along the mat. And let's inhale instead the left knee into the chest, just hugging this left knee in. Staying aware of the breath. And then we're going to inhale the right knee to join the left knee, so both knees into the chest, pressing down into the lower back. Keeping the back of the neck long, trying to soften the shoulders down away from the ears. And then on your exhalation, let's just release the left foot onto the mat. We're just going to extend that right heel to the ceiling. Now, by all means, just hold the leg literally with your hands. If you happen to have a scarf and you find it more comfortable to do so, then you might take a scarf or a belt, or whatever you might have, around the sole of the right foot as you extend through that right heel. Try to keep the leg as straight as possible, so maybe for some of you it looks more like this, and maybe for some of you, you're here, it doesn't really matter. Just really working to straighten into the right leg and breathe. So there's an awareness of a filling on the inhalation and a release on the exhalation. And then we'll literally release on the exhalation, bending the right knee and bringing the right foot onto the floor. So having a sense of the weight of the right foot on the floor, and let's inhale the left foot away from the floor, and let's extend that left heel to the ceiling. So pressing down into the sole of your right foot, but pressing up through your left heel as well. And then awareness to the breath. So make sure that you haven't lifted the shoulders away from the mats and you haven't lifted the chin excessively to the ceiling, which often happens. Full breath in and full breath out, finding that expansion with the in-breath. And the weighting down almost of the back body on the out-breath. And then we'll exhale, bending the left knee and bringing the left foot down onto the mat. And then from here, let's inhale both knees in towards the chest. And then let's exhale, press to the right side and bring ourselves all the way up to sit. Sit cross-legged if you can, or extend the legs out if you'd prefer. By all means, sit up on a blanket or otherwise a cushion if you'd rather. So we're going to interlock the fingers and we're going to take an inhalation, stretch up through the hands, through the arms. And then let's exhale, lean over to the right, just lengthening into that side waist on the left side. And then we're going to inhale, reach both hands up. And exhale over to your left, pressing that right knee down. Inhaling, lifting up. And exhale again, all the way over to the right. Inhaling up. And exhaling over to the left. Inhaling, reaching up. And let's exhale, bring the hands together at the back of the body, interlocking the fingers. And let's see if we can take an inhalation, lift the hands, squeezing the palms together. And exhale, release the hands down. One more like that. So inhaling, let's lift the hands. And then exhale, let's bring the left elbow on top of the right, wrapping the arms around one another. So left elbow on top of the right. Maybe that isn't great for you, so you might just hug yourself with the left elbow on top. And then let's take an inhalation forward onto the sitting bones, lift the elbows. And exhale, elbows to belly button, rounding the spine. And then we're going to inhale, extend the hands all the way up to the ceiling. And to exhale, float them all the way back down. Good. And then change the cross to the unnatural cross. Change the interlock to the unnatural interlock. And let's take an inhalation, let's stretch all the way up again. And let's exhale, twist this time to the right. So left hand to right knee, right hand to the back of the body. And then inhale, raise the hands. And exhale, twisting to your left. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, tummy twist to the right. Maybe you look out over your right shoulder. Inhaling, hands up. And exhale, let's twist all the way to the left. Inhaling, hands up. And exhale, let's bring the hands together, but go for the unnatural grip. And again, let's try and press the palms together if we can. So you might need to keep the elbows bent. Try not to let the chest and the head drop here either. So we'll take an inhalation, lift the hands. And exhale, release them down. Good. And then one more like that. So inhale, lifting the hands. And exhale, release the hands. This time the right elbow on top of the left. And it might be that you just hug yourself, or maybe you can wrap your arms around the Garudasana arms. And then once again, we'll take an inhalation. Just bring the elbows forward and up. That's okay for you, obviously. And then exhale, round the back, elbows to belly button. And then inhale, let's extend the hands to the ceiling. And exhale, float them all the way back down. Good. And then bringing yourself now onto all fours, so just bringing a little bit more movement through the spine. So wrist joints just slightly forward of the shoulder joints, knees hip distance apart. We'll take an inhalation to lift the sitting bones, lift the chest. And then on the exhalation, we'll round the spine, back of heart to the ceiling, tailbone to the floor. Inhaling, softening the tummy, broadening through the chest, lifting the pubic bone. Exhaling, rounding your back body, back of heart to ceiling. One more like that. So inhaling, softening into the tummy, broadening the chest. And exhaling, rounding the spine, chin to the chest, tailbone to the floor. We'll take an inhalation, lift the chest, we'll tuck the toes under, and let's exhale into a downward facing dog. So maybe this feels really uncomfortable for you. Sometimes when we get quite stressed, the legs get really tight, the whole body gets really tight actually. But for many of us, it's sometimes quite nice just to find that lengthening. Just inverting the head here as well, just changing the perspective a little. So maybe your knees stay bent. Otherwise you're going to ground into the thumb and index finger and lift through the hip creases and energize down through the backs of your legs. And then we'll take an inhalation to lift the head. And as we exhale, walk the feet behind the wrist joints. And we'll take the hands into the opposite elbows and let the head hang, and maybe we might straighten the legs. But if that doesn't work for you, if that's actually really stressful, then maybe you come here instead, especially if you have any issues with your back. So maybe you just press your hands onto your thighs like this. But otherwise hanging, Uttanasana, hands to the opposite elbows, just finding a length through the backs of the legs. Breathing, let's not forget the breath. And let's change the cross of the arms, so whichever hand is on top, take it underneath. It's not so easy to talk in this position, I'm realising. Good, and then we're going to release the hands. So we're going to come into Uttanasana. If you happen to know what that is, it might help might not help either. But what we're going to do is bend the knees, and on an inhalation, lift the hands up as high as you can, with the knees bent, as if you're in your chair, or sitting in a chair. It's chair pose, fierce pose. Okay, so inner knees keep reaching forward. On your inhalation, you kind of lift the pubic bone up, and on the exhalation, see if you can lengthen the tailbone down. And then maybe you can bring the arms back a little bit more, extend through the little fingers. So inhaling, pubic bone lifts up, and exhale, the tailbone down. And then we'll take an inhalation, well done everyone, and release the hands all the way down from there. We're going to take the weight into the right foot. Find a drishti, we call it, so a focal point, something you can focus your eyes upon. See if you can come onto your left toes, and maybe from here you can inhale the left foot away from the mat. Please don't let this get you stressed, however, but it might help a little with the focus and the balance and the grounding to balance on one leg, or try to. You can of course go to a wall if necessary and hold the wall with your right hand. Otherwise, we might lift the right arm, thumb and index finger to touch, take an inhalation, and on the exhalation, let's lead with the heart. Let's be active through the left toes. Press the left foot towards the wall behind you. Stay focused, breathing, heart open, and then take an inhalation, come all the way up, and exhale, release down from there. And then let's have a go on the left side. So take the weight into the left foot, find that focal point, lift the right heel up, see how that feels with the weight in the left foot. If it feels okay, let's inhale the right foot up, take hold of the right foot or right ankle, wherever is comfortable for you to reach. Bring the knees towards one another. Lift the left arm possibly, or otherwise left hand to a wall. Thumb and index finger to touch, possibly. So this is a graceful pose, Uttarajasana, in theory anyway. So we take an inhalation, and on the exhalation, let's lift the back knee as we drop the chest a little and press the right foot into the right hand. Stay focused on that spot ahead of you, breathing, and then take an inhalation, come all the way back up from there, and exhale, let's release the right foot down. So hopefully that meant that you didn't think about too much other than what you were doing, which is the whole point, isn't it? Trying not to think about all the things that were stressing us out previously, but at the same time we don't want our yoga practice to start stressing us out either. So let's have another go. Let's balance up on the right foot, and let's take an inhalation, lift the left foot up into tree, so Vritsasana. So maybe try and have the left foot above or below the knee joint, or even against the ankle joint, okay? But try and avoid the knee joint. And press that left foot into the right leg, and the right leg into the left foot, and bring the hands to touch at the heart, lifting the chest. So keep your eyes focused on that spot ahead of you. And possibly you're absolutely fine here, possibly you need the wall, that's fine as well. But otherwise we might have a go, she says, at coming into Ardha Chandrasana, it's a half moon pose, and then back up into tree pose. So if that feels like something you'd like to do, let's have a go. We're going to take an inhalation, and on the exhalation, it kind of happens in mid-air, you need to kick that left foot back as you bring the right fingertips down and reach the left hand up. And amazingly that worked, which is quite fortunate really. Maybe, step too far, looking up towards that left thumb. as you keep pressing through the right heel. So the key really, many keys, but one of them is to really press through the left heel, as you ground down into the right foot. And then those of you who are with me in this Ardha Chandrasana, look down now and take an inhalation to come all the way back up. Maybe. Here we go. Yes. Tree. Wow. Good. And then on the exhalation, let's release the left foot down onto the floor. I'm going to turn around. You can stay where you are. We'll take the weight into the left foot now. We'll find that drishti. And we'll take an inhalation, lift the right foot up into tree, Vrksasana. Hands to the heart. So really have this awareness of the left foot in contact with the earth. Roots growing through the sole of that left foot, connecting you to the earth, then earth energy as the crown of the head lifts towards the ceiling and up towards the sky, essentially. So there's this lengthening through the body. And maintaining that length, those of you coming with me into Ardha Chandrasana or trying to come into Ardha Chandrasana half moon. So we'll take an inhalation, and then on the exhalation, extending that right heel back as the left fingertips come down and the right hand reaches towards the ceiling. And then keep pressing through the right heel, turning the right toes towards the right side of the room, and maybe having a look towards that top thumb, if that feels okay for you. Don't worry if you fall, as long as you get back up again. Okay, we can fall as many times in life as we need to, but the key, or the important thing, is to make sure we get back up again. Okay, let's look down, those of us looking up. Let's take an inhalation. Let's start to come all the way back up. Ooh, exhaling to tree. Here we go. Good, finding that focal point ahead of you again. And then on the exhalation, releasing from there, right foot back down onto the floor. So, standing towards the front of the mat, feet apart, back hip distance, hands to the heart. Let's take an inhalation, reach the hands towards the ceiling. And let's exhale, let's bow with reverence then to the earth. Grounding. Take an inhalation, extend the crown of the head forward. And exhale, step your way back into downward facing dog. Take an inhalation here. And as you exhale, bring the knees down onto the floor. Now, if kneeling is okay for you, stay kneeling. If kneeling is not okay for you, then sit. But let's rest the left hand, however it feels, on the left leg. And let's lift the right hand up, and let's fold the index finger and middle finger of the right hand into the palm of the right hand, and extend therefore through your right thumb, ring finger and little finger. Think about that then. Close the eyes. Let's rest the thumb against the right nostril and the ring finger against the left nostril. Just soften the shoulders, broaden the chest. Release all breath from body, so complete exhalation. And then inhale through both nostrils. And exhale gently through your left nostril. Inhaling through the left nostril. Closing left nostril, exhaling right. Inhaling right nostril. Closing right, exhaling left. Inhaling through the left nostril. Closing left, exhaling right. Inhaling right. Closing right, exhale left. Inhaling left. Closing left, exhaling right. Inhaling right. Closing right, exhaling left. And then just release the right hand back down onto your right leg. Keep the eyes closed for a moment. Just notice how you're feeling. And then just take the knees slightly apart from one another if you're kneeling. And if you're not kneeling, if you can, bring yourself onto your knees with the knees apart. Just take a moment in pose of a child. So let's bring the forehead down onto the mat if it will reach. Or one hand on top of the other hand, forehead on your hands. For those of you who find this really uncomfortable in your knee joints, then maybe you lie on your tummy instead. But just take a moment to soften here in Balasana, if possible, the child's pose. Remembering the breath, breathing into the back of the body as much as you can on the inhalation. Again, that kind of dropping down, that letting go, the surrendering on the exhalation. And then taking an inhalation to lift the head away from the floor. And as you exhale, unfold your legs. Have space behind you as you come forward. And it might be that you just stay here for a moment with the feet together, the knees together, and just soften the forehead down onto your knees. I'll probably encourage you to stay, well, I do encourage you to stay here if you're menstruating. If you're pregnant, then actually I suggest you have space for your bump as well, and you also stay here. Otherwise, we may have a go at taking hold of the back of the thighs and taking an inhalation, lifting the feet to knee height, and maybe release the hands out, coming into Navasana boat pose. So eyes focus on the toes, lifting the chest, breathing. And then on your exhalation, feet down onto the floor, hands either side of your hips. And inhale, lift the buttocks up. And exhale, release down. And again, if you're menstruating, pregnant, or just can't be bothered, then just bring yourself down to lie. But otherwise, we might work with our core strength a little here, hands out, taking an inhalation. And on your exhalation, unrolling your spine all the way down to rest on your backs. Hurrah, you've arrived. Welcome home to yourselves, back in the body, grounded to the earth. We're actually going to stretch the left leg along the mat, and almost like we did at the beginning of the practice, we'll inhale the right knee into the chest, and we'll stretch through the right leg. So again, it might be that you use a scarf or a strap, or you can just hold the back of the thigh maybe. If it's too strong for you with the left leg straight along the mat like that, just bend the knee, but otherwise we're going to root down into the back of the left leg. I'm going to press up through the right heel. My legs feel really tight today for some reason. Too much swimming probably. I'm going to take an inhalation. On the exhalation, see if you can guide the foot a little further towards the wall, or the floor I should say, behind you. So maybe even closing down the eyes and just focusing on the breath. So the inhalation to create space in the body, and the exhalation softening into that space. So without too much effort, so this whole concept of not too tight, not too loose, the middle way then. So there's an awareness of sensation possibly in the back of the leg. And just directing breath to sensation. Working a little again on finding grounding through the root here. And then on the exhalation, let's bend into the right knee. And then release that right leg along the mat, and just pausing to notice how the legs feel. So my right leg now feels longer than my left leg. And you may have that same experience. So let's balance it off now. Let's inhale the left knee in. Let's root that right leg down, unless that's too strong for you, in which case you bend the knee. Otherwise, maybe something around the sole of the left foot as you extend that left heel towards the ceiling. So really pressing down and out through that right leg. Pressing up through your left heel. And again, focusing on your breath. So maybe even closing the eyes, internalizing awareness. A deep breath into finding expansion, and then a releasing, a dropping down on the exhalation. So an awareness of sensation in the back of the left leg, or maybe even through the top of the right thigh, wherever you're feeling sensation in the body. Bringing the breath to sensation. Good, okay, and then again we'll take the inhalation here, and as we exhale, let's bend into that left knee and release the left leg along the floor. And then inhale both knees back into the chest. Maybe you want to just massage your back a little on the floor. And then let's come into an open twist. So we're going to take the feet about mat distance apart. Take the hands out at shoulder height if you can, not higher than shoulder height, just shoulder height. Let's keep the shoulders rooted to the earth. Let's take an inhalation. On the exhalation, knees to the left, head maybe to the right. Inhaling to the centre and exhaling, knees over to the right, head to the left. Let's inhale to the centre and exhaling. Inhaling to the centre and exhaling. Inhaling to the centre. Exhaling, let's draw the knees into the chest. Maybe we lift the head away from the mat, bring the nose towards the knees, just kind of hugging in on ourselves. Breathing, don't forget to breathe. Don't hold the breath, that just creates more stress. So nice, easy flow of breath, and then on the exhalation, let's release the back of the head onto the floor and the feet flat to the floor. And let's take a couple of rounds of the Brahmari breath. So maybe you rest your hands on your tummy. We're going to take a breath in through the nose, and as we exhale, we're going to hum like a bee, like a bumblebee. It's a very calming, soothing breath. Let's do 3 rounds if we can. So let's take a breath in through the nose. Just lengthen the legs along the mat if that's comfortable for you, otherwise keep the knees bent. Maybe you keep your hands on your tummy or you rest your hands beside the body, make sure you're warm enough. Take another deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then you stay in that position. Bring myself up to sit. Just allow the weight of the body to settle onto the earth. Allow the support of the earth. Allow yourself to be held by the earth. Allowing stress to melt onto the floor with each out breath. But not controlling the breath. Not changing the breath, just allowing the breath to do its thing. Just having this sense of energy coming into the body on the inhalation. And this settling, this grounding, this letting go on the exhalation. And let's just move awareness throughout the body, just noticing residual tension in the body. So softening into the crown of the head, the space between the eyebrows, just softening the whole of your forehead actually. Softening through the eyes, the eyeballs almost sinking in the eye sockets. Relaxing the jaw. And the tongue, so really relaxing into the root of the tongue, so taking the awareness right to the root of the tongue, softening, relaxing the root of the tongue. Relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears, so the shoulders that carry so much weight of responsibility often. And I always have this sense that you've got like parrots or something sitting on your shoulders, weighing you down, chattering in your ears. So just allowing the shoulders to drop. Relaxing through your chest and down through your arms and your hands. Down through the tummy, really relaxing into the tummy, the need to hold in the tummy. Softening into the pelvis, so really softening into the pelvis. The women amongst you soften into the womb space. Relaxing through your hips and down through your legs, so really do surrender all efforts through your legs particularly. Through the buttocks down, all the way through to your heels and toes. Whole body rooted to the earth, and almost as if you do have little rootlets growing out the back of your body, really connecting you to the earth. So maybe you carry on resting here for as long as you can. Or maybe now you need to move, and if you are needing to move, just take a few moments on the right side of the body before you carry on with your day. Namaste.